I personally would love to talk about, and that's the more you do, the more you can do. Jot that one down, please. And then also conversely, if we want to add on to that, the less you do, the less you can do. I've been consistently getting my 10K steps in again. And when I do this is when my mind is the sharpest. I won't lie, I did take yesterday off. I was on an emotional roller coaster. But it's okay because I processed a lot. Me and my boyfriend cleaned our house and we bought new pillows. So that was just exciting. And yeah, life is good. And that's because part of the reason why life is good, it's like life could be bad right now. Like I could be sitting here and just like complaining to you, the people, about like all the horrible things happening in the world. And that's what the majority of people online are doing these days, and it's really starting to annoy me. I'm just like, because the thing is, I used to be a person like this, and this was when I was very young, and this was because no one had taught me what it is to be mentally and physically resilient. Like I just didn't have those skills instilled in me. I had to learn how to like become that kind of person, and because I'm very disciplined, I managed to get everything I wanted out of life. And like things are going pretty good, I can't lie. So when I say the more you do, the more you can do, I mean this in like all areas of life. So for example, when I realized last year that if I walk 10,000 steps a day, then I know that I am physically resilient, which makes it easier for me to be mentally resilient, which then makes me feel like I am the master of my fate, captain of my soul, that like everything is in my control because I'm overseeing my health and well-being, which is kind of like the crux of humanity, you know what I mean? Like if we as a society we've enabled this collective culture of what's the word I'm looking for? This normalcy of being at dis-ease, okay? This is some wisdom that came to me last year when I was walking. So the reason that we have such elevated levels of disease today, like now more than ever, I would say, is because of the amount of dis-ease. Like humans are just not comfortable in their own bodies. We are constantly disassociating. We're constantly pulling ourselves out of reality and into the matrix. And the matrix, I probably talked about this on here before, but that is kind of what I describe as anything that provides you with the illusion of taking the easy way out, because there is no easy way out. The only way out is through. The only way out that doesn't result in suffering, I'll say, because it's like you can choose. You can choose to go around the mountain to chase your tail in circles all day, every day, for the rest of your life if you want to. And like God's not gonna change that for you, because God helps those who help themselves, right? But what God will do is he will observe like, oh, Sally is over here and she really seems to enjoy being stuck in this pattern of self-loathing, and like, you know, I have other missions for Sally. I have other things that I would love Sally to be doing right now, but this is where she is choosing to keep herself stuck in this cycle of self-loathing and abusing oneself and disassociating from life. And like, you know, the world could really use someone like Sally, but she doesn't want to be herself. She doesn't think that she is strong enough to be herself, because we live in a society that like Attack of the Clones is like playing out, you know what I mean? Like you look around and it's just everything is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And it's very exhausting. Like, oh, there are people you'll meet and it's like they don't have like an actual personality. It's like they've just curated themselves to be like acceptable on social media. And you know why that is? Because their screen time is 8 hours and 42 minutes a day, every single day. And then at that point, where part of the problem is that if you're doing nothing, let's say you average 8 hours, I don't want to say doing nothing, but if you average eight and a half hours of screen time every day, and your average face-to-face time out in the real world outside of your own home, like making connections in your community, is an average of 3 hours a day, maybe 6 hours a day, whatever. If that time is lower than the time you spend scrolling on social media, then it's no wonder that you think like all of reality should be for you. Because it's like you're so used to your For You page, you're so used to the algorithm catering everything to everything that you want to see, or maybe that you don't want to see, because then it makes you angry, and then you're online spreading the rage and just getting angry, so angry about things that are out of your control. Do you know what like the number one killer is? It's stress. Like stress will take you down. Like it is not our natural nature as humans to be stressed. Like that's why God exists, because then we can give all of our worries and our fears and our doubts to him, and he can show us just how magical life can be. Like, I feel like I just went on a roller coaster there, and I hope it made people feel like what I've been feeling lately, and maybe just like open their eyes to the behaviors of people around them, or some of their own behaviors, or just like anything really. Like, I'm just trying to like open people's minds and make sure people are awake and living out there, because it takes a village to do, not only to raise a child, but to like raise each other, right? And if like half of the village isn't playing the game, they've tapped out, they're just like too busy doom scrolling or binge eating or online shopping or like anything negative, well, negative, but like any of those behaviors that keep you going around the mountain, then it's like you're not contributing in the world, and we need you out here. We do. We need more people. We need more doctors. We need more nurses. We need more, like, we just need to do better. We need to help each other more. We need to connect more, because right now people are so divisive. It's like they don't want to come together regardless of race or religion or political views. Like, it's all very like there's a line in the sand, and I'm staying over here and you're staying over here, and I need to like suss you out and watch you and make sure you're an acceptable being before I will even smile at you in the streets. Like, people don't smile at each other anymore. It's very rare. I really try to do that a lot when I go out. When I'm on my walks, I smile at old people. I'll just, like, actually I had a really sweet interaction the other day at the mall. I was just sitting in the mall food court, and I was just working, watching 90 Day Fiancé, like editing some articles, whatever. And I was about to leave. I'm packing up my bag. I don't have like a super like outwardly friendly demeanor. A lot of people tell me they think I look like a bitch. So, whatever. But I did. I had like my coat on, I had my sunglasses on, I had headphones on, whatever. Like, I didn't look like I was ready to be approached. But this sweet old man came up to me, and he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I was like, "Yeah, like, hello." And so he's like, "I just go around like giving out Bibles. Would you like one?" And it was like actually I have it in my purse right here. Ooh, 1 second. Red letter edition, which Calvin told me means that anything that Jesus said is highlighted in red. And this is the King James version. I don't know what other versions there are of the Bible, but I thought it was really awesome. And so we just had a talk for a few minutes about keeping one's heart open. Like, he was talking about like the importance of the word of Jesus, which like I freaking love Jesus Christ. Okay, he is one of the greatest spiritual teachers of all time, right after Mary Magdalene. Thank you so much. And yeah, so I was just saying to him, like, I'm assuming like maybe he's so used to closed-minded people that he thought because I'm like a young woman, like maybe I would reject him or like tell him off or like not be receptive or whatever. But like, yeah, we stopped and talked for a few minutes, and I was just like, yeah, like, I really think like it's more important like now more than ever to keep your heart open. That's what the world needs, is heart-centered like living, because Jesus, anyone who's a Pisces Venus, me, I am, Calvin is one, Martin Luther King was, like all these amazing, loving, heart-centered people, Pisces Venuses, we are like teachers of Jesus's word, essentially, is what I really believe. And yeah, so again, I didn't even get this man's name, but we just had this really lovely like interaction as I'm leaving. He's like, "God bless you," and I'm like, "Wow, like, you too, like, have a nice day, take care," and it's just, think about, when is the last time you had an interaction like that? Let me know. For real, because I feel like a lot of you are missing out on the magical aspects of life because you're not allowing yourself to ascend to those levels, to like raise your vibration to that point where it's like you can receive miracles. Because miracles are real, they are possible, they happen every day. Like that, this old man just walking up to me, a complete stranger, just giving me this Bible, that to me, that was a miracle. That was an act of God, right? And so people, even like in the instance of like me being like a psychic medium, okay, people want to laugh at me and tell me I'm a kook and just like ridicule that to hell, whatever. But the thing is, like, when I say the more you do, the more you can do, think about it this way. So through reconnecting with God and like activating the Haley spirit, as I call it, like just going on this journey, I was able to be, I will be sober for 4 years on March 27th. That is huge. I'm only 26 years old. Okay, I'll be 27 then, but I've been sober since I was 23. That is amazing. Everyone clap. And then I went almost 2 years of celibacy when I was the best looking and like most fit of my life, by the way. It's not like I was depressed or anything, you know what I mean? Like, I was actually actively working on myself. And that was only because of God that I was able to achieve those things, right? So the more I did outside of those things, outside of drinking, outside of having sexual relations, whatever, I was able then to do other things which were my mission, which activated these powers of mediumship within me. Okay, so that is a miracle. That is an act of God. And maybe if you too would commit to things like that, you too would experience like what it's like to have things shared with you, put like delivered to you. You know, like scripture, not scripture, but like just prophetic words, really. Like I get so much wisdom that's just downloaded into my brain. And then it's like I feel called to come out here and share it with you, the people. And actually, so again, that was an example of a really good interaction I had lately, but then I can also share with you like a weird interaction I had. Let me take a sip of my drink. I don't know if that's a bird or a truck. Anyways, okay. So Calvin and I, we went to this sermon sort of thing at this man's house. He's a barber, right? So one of his clients was like hosting this thing at his house. And I had met this guy before, and he seemed really nice and everything, like good conversationalist. So like I asked Cal, I was like, oh, like, can I come with you? And he's like, okay, like I'll ask. And so I was allowed to come. And so essentially it was just a gathering at this guy's house. He has a really nice house out on like a range road. His kids were there. There's people of all ages there. And so we just sat down for like an hour and a half. We listened to Joel like give a really amazing sermon. Actually, he's just talking about a lot of like what I just talked about there. So like overcoming fear, overcoming doubt, like not going around the mountain, like hearing God's call for you, God's call to rise above the madness and stay conscious and not distract yourself and pull yourself out of the game of life. Okay, so yeah, it was just like amazing, and I did feel really like connected. Like for Joel actually had like us do like this exercise, which was almost like mediumship. Like he's like, everyone here tonight, like you can get a message from God, like if you're willing to receive it. And so he gave us all a piece of paper, and he just kind of like prayed this prayer and like asked us all to like sit there and, you know, just like let anything, like any words that came to us, like just write that down. And so what like this hymn from Catholic school started playing in my head, or maybe it's just a Christmas song, I don't know, but Joy to the World. And so in that, like they sing like, oh come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. So then to me that was the message that I got, and that's kind of like what I'm supposed to focus on in 2026 is being faithful, being joyful, and being triumphant. And really like 2025 was a really good training for that, because like every experience I had really shaped me into a kind of person who like enjoys being joyful, faithful, joyful and triumphant. Because before that, maybe that wouldn't have been my vibe, right? But now it's just like, I love being in these feelings. I love feeling good about myself and feeling good about life. And you can have that too if you commit to feeling those feelings, and you say, okay, today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make sure that at least more than half the day I'm feeling good about myself and feeling good about life. And then if you are actively like trying to make sure you're spending your time in those feelings, then that will become your reality. But okay, back to the interaction I had with this woman. So she was talking about, okay, wait, I didn't even tell you about this woman. So Calvin and I, my brain is on 100 today. Okay, so Calvin and I, we are about to leave. Like they were having this thing called like ministry at the end, where it's like you can stay and like get prayed for if you want. But we were both like tired. We didn't really feel like we needed that. So we were like, okay, we're gonna dip out now. And we're headed to the door. I'm literally putting my boots on. And then there's like this woman, and she like walks up to us. She's like, stop. Wait. I'm like, okay, like what's going on? And she's like, yeah, like I really, like I sensed something in your energy, like God wanted me to tell you that like he really wants you to keep coming to these sessions or something. And like the what did she say? She's like, God really wants you to open your heart to him. And I'm kind of laughing because I'm like, who more than me has their heart open to God? So yeah, I'm literally like I said to her, I was like, my heart is open to God. And she's like, let me finish. At this point, I'm trying not to laugh. I have the worst poker face in the world. So I'm just kind of standing there, Calvin's standing there, and we're both like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I can sense that you have these gifts, like you can see things from beyond. And like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, thank you, like, I know. And then so as like, I kind of wait for her to take a breath and like talking, and I'm like, yeah, like I literally am a psychic medium. And this woman says to me, that's not of God. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, she's like, then she keeps trying to talk and like push her agenda on me and be like, no, those are like familiar spirits. Like, I'm like, I've never heard the word of the Lord before. I was just like, okay. And, you know, like, kind of what we think is that she was gonna want to, like, pray for me, like, put her hands on me, and, like, you know, whatever. So Calvin said if she tried to do that, he would have been like, girl, like, back the fuck off. But what I ended up doing is I just gently put my hand on her, and I was like, it's of God to me. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And then we, like, left. But it was just super, like, weird. And that's, like, a great example of, like, how the dichotomy of, like, people these days, right? So I would say old man, the kind old man who gave me my Bible, very high vibrational, right? He knew nothing about me. I had an energy that was closed off. Like, again, I didn't seem receptive to talking, and he still approached me and offered me so much kindness, and, like, doesn't even know my name. Again, just so much kindness and love, and willing to talk to me about Jesus, and not telling me that my perspective of Jesus is wrong, anything like that, right? Like, just, like, accepting, totally open. And that was just in the mall food court, like, on a freaking, like, Thursday afternoon. You know what I mean? Like, just, like, out of the blue, like, truly an act of God. And then, a few days later, or maybe, no, before, a few weeks before, days before, time isn't real, I'm literally in a place that is supposed to be so holy, a gathering of people that are listening to the word of God, and, like, under a pastor, right? This place that you think is supposed to be so righteous and so holy. And I'm treated like that? Interesting. That right there, that whole thing is like an act of God. It's like a Shakespearean play. But yeah, I feel like I'm just making this video today. Usually I come on here and, like, pull some cards and talk about whatever, but this was really just, like, free flowing, like, sharing things that I've been noticing and experiencing and feeling lately. And I'm very passionate about making the world a better place, because this planet is for my children and my children's children. And you have to be thinking 7 generations ahead. You can't just be thinking about yourself. And that's the problem. A lot of motherfuckers are just thinking about themselves and, like, how they feel. And, like, they have to feel good all of the time. It's like, if you're not feeling good, you'll have better odds of changing your vibration within you than you will changing the whole world around you. But actually, that's how we change the whole world around us, is changing our vibration in ourselves, right? So if you're looking at the world through these distorted, drunk goggles of, like, a low vibration, and then that's the reality you're gonna see. But then as soon as you can raise your vibration within you, the reality becomes different. You're looking at the world through like rose-colored glasses, literally, and, like, things are just, anything is possible. It's freaking magical out here if you're living in the right vibration, right? And I know people are gonna say, like, one thing I've been seeing a lot of online lately that is just driving me crazy is people being like, I don't understand how the world got this way. I don't get it. How to think, like, how did this happen? I don't resonate with the world around me. We have gotten this way because humans are lazy. Humans have become complacent, right? So if you don't think you are resilient to walk 10,000 steps a day, or whatever goal you want to set for yourself in that realm, then of course you do not think that you could possibly change the world. But if you can change your world, that is how we change the world. The more people that are going on their own individual journeys and having these experiences and evolving and ascending and becoming. You're not here to be the same person you were 20 years ago, 5 years ago. Like, we're all always changing and evolving and shifting. We need to be, like, open to that, because if you close yourself off to that, then you're missing out on life. Well, you're going around the mountain, right? Instead of climbing a mountain, you're hopping on the train, the same train that you take every day to work. God is literally planting this in my head right now. It's like, you take the number 8 bus every single day from this end of your town to this end of your town to your job. You see the same regular customers, the same people repeating the same cycles, right? Whereas you could be climbing the mountain if you just chose to look at things differently and do something different in your own life. Because again, like, we can all sit around scratching our butts and, like, scrolling on our phone and talking about how dumb politicians are. Or we could be ascending. Like, we have, it's free will. It's up to you, right? So Calvin and I watched Uncut Gems the other night, and this is a really good example of this. So in that movie, it's like Howie, that's Adam Sandler's character. He's just like this guy who's just like, he is addicted to adrenaline. I would say he's probably bipolar, as a bipolar woman myself, but he he can't settle down because he always wants to be chasing something. He always wants bigger, better, right? But like not in like an ambitious sense, really, just in like a sense of lunacy and like insanity. So anyways, this guy ends up like chasing his tail, going around the mountain, fucking trying to get money that he owes this person, and he spends that money to bet to like get more money so that he can pay back this person. And it's just like he keeps like falling in holes. Like Howie is fucked up. Okay, that movie is like a 2.5 hour anxiety attack. It's very good though. I do like it. So it's like this guy, he's just chasing again his tail in circles. He's not realizing that he could like let go of all this bullshit and like ascend, and God probably has another mission for Howie. But he was not open to it because he was so busy like going around the freaking mountain. He's like, oh, maybe if I take this train today I'll see something I haven't seen. But it's just like, no. Like maybe like there'll be something outside of you that's different, right? And you can notice that. You can talk about that all day. You can talk to everyone on the train like, oh, did you see the mountain? Like it had a new chip in it today. There was snow over there, whatever. You can talk about things outside of you, right? Or you can get off the train and start climbing the mountain, or start training to climb the mountain and like walking paths in your community and going to the gym and just doing stuff like that, right? And then you're noticing changes within yourself. Your body is changing, your mind is changing, the way you look at the world is changing. And then you're not just on the bus talking to the same people every day. You're climbing mountains with other people, right, who are also strong and resilient, and they're offering you new perspectives, and they're showing you things that are like different from anything you've ever seen before. And then you're feeling inspired. You're at the top of a mountain and you're looking over there and you're like, look, there's another mountain I can go climb, right? And then that's what life is about, is like going outside. You can't win if you don't play, right? So you need to like move around the board. You can't just like play defense, keep it safe over here thinking you're supposed to feel good all the time. You're not. You're gonna feel bad sometimes, but then when you feel bad, it's your responsibility to examine that and not look outside of you and say, what outside of me is making me feel bad? How do I shut myself off from them? No, you look inside you and say, what inside me is making me feel bad, and how do I open my heart up to that part of me? Because obviously like that part of me needs some love. And I think we're gonna end things here. That felt really good. That was a lot of yammering. But sometimes you just gotta get it out, right? So I'm gonna go do some work now, and then I'm gonna go get my 10,000 steps. And it's Tuesday, so who knows what could happen. Anything is possible if you just be live.